Anxiety is the most common mental health problem in the modern world. Past that destroy you. And here's the good news. If anxiety is created by your thoughts, then you can uncreate it. You have the power. The Stoics proved it. The Stoics built 3 tools specifically to combat anxiety, and each one addresses a different part of the problem. Tool 1. The dichotomy of control. This is the foundational Stoic principle. Epictetus stated it clearly. Some things are in your control, and some things are not. Here's the list. In your control: your beliefs, your desires, your judgments, your effort, your attention, your response. Not in your control: the outcome, other people's opinions, your health, your reputation, whether you get the job. This is the dividing line. And here's why it matters to anxiety. You cannot be anxious about something that's not in your control. Well, you can. but you're wasting energy on a fantasy. Right now, you might be anxious about whether someone will like you. That's not in your control. You might be anxious about economic collapse. That's not in your control. You might be anxious about getting sick. That's not entirely in your control. But here's what is in your control: your effort to be a good friend, your effort to be financially responsible, your effort to take care of your health. These you can control. These are where your focus belongs. The Stoic move is simple. Stop trying to control the outcome. Start controlling your effort. Do your part and release the rest. When you do this, something magical happens. Your anxiety doesn't have to disappear all at once, but it shrinks. Because you're no longer fighting against reality. You're working within it. Tool 2, negative visualization, the anxiety antidote. This one is counterintuitive, but it's powerful. The Stoics practiced imagining bad outcomes, not to be depressed, but to prepare. Here's the psychology. Anxiety thrives on uncertainty. Your brain imagines vague, horrible outcomes, and you feel trapped. But when you vividly imagine the specific bad outcome, something shifts. The fear becomes concrete, and concrete is manageable. Seneca used this constantly. If he was anxious about a speech he was about to give, he wouldn't try to think positive. He would vividly imagine failing. He would imagine the audience rejecting him. He would feel that pain in his imagination. And when the actual speech came, he was prepared. The fear had already been processed. Here's what this does neurologically. Your amygdala, your fear center, learns through exposure. When you deliberately expose yourself to the fear image in a safe way, your brain learns that the fear isn't a signal of immediate danger. It's just a thought. So when you're anxious, don't suppress it. Don't tell yourself, think positive. Instead, go deeper. Imagine the worst. Really imagine it. What would happen? Would you survive it? Almost always, yes. Tool 3, radical present focus. The third tool is this: anxiety cannot survive in the present moment. Your anxiety is always about something that hasn't happened yet, or something that already happened. The present moment right now is almost always fine. Even if it's uncomfortable, it's manageable. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Concentrate every minute like a Roman on doing what's in front of you with precise and genuine seriousness." He's saying, put your full attention on what you're actually doing right now. If you're walking, feel your feet on the ground. If you're eating, taste the food. If you're having a conversation, listen fully. This isn't meditation mumbo jumbo. This is the most practical anxiety-fighting tool ever created. When you're fully in the present moment, your amygdala quiets down. It's not detecting threats. It's just experiencing what is. Core teaching continued. Point 3. Now here's where the real power comes in. You're going to build your own Stoic anxiety protocol, a repeatable process you use every single time anxiety strikes. This is what separates people who read about Stoicism and people who actually transform their lives. The people who build protocols and practice them. Your protocol has 3 steps. Step 1. Name what's in your control and what's not. The moment anxiety hits, pause. Ask yourself, what am I anxious about? Get specific. Then ask, is this in my control? Be ruthlessly honest. If it's not in your control, if it's about someone else's opinion or an outcome you can't guarantee, then you have permission to release it. You cannot control it. Your job is to accept that and move on. If it is in your control, if it's about your effort, your behavior, your preparation, then move to step 2. Step 2. Do your part, then release the outcome. What's the one thing you can control right now? Not the result, the effort. If you're anxious about a job interview, you can't control whether you get hired, but you can control whether you prepare. Practice your answers. Research the company. Get good sleep. You do your part fully. You do it excellently. Then, and this is crucial, you release the outcome. You've done what you can. The rest is not your responsibility. Step 3. Stay in the present moment. In the last step, you ground yourself in what's actually happening right now, not in the imagined future. Where are you? What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel on your skin? Spend 60 seconds purely noticing your actual environment. Your brain will try to pull you back into anxiety. Let it, and gently bring yourself back to the present moment. Again and again. This is the practice. You don't win anxiety. You practice returning to the present until anxiety loses its grip. Here's your practical exercise. You're going to build your anxiety protocol and keep it somewhere you can see it. Get a piece of paper or create a note on your phone. Write down these 3 steps. Step 1. What am I anxious about? Is this in my control? Step 2. What is one thing I can control right now? What's my effort? Step 3. What's actually happening in this present moment? What do I see, hear, feel? Now practice this protocol. Don't wait for a full anxiety attack. Practice it when you feel the first twinge of anxiety. When you notice the thought starting to spiral, you have a protocol. Most people don't fail at managing anxiety because they don't know what to do. They fail because they don't have a repeatable process. They're improvising every time. But the Stoics understood something. If you have a protocol and you practice it, it becomes automatic. Do this protocol every single time anxiety arises for the next week. By week 2, you'll notice something. The anxiety hits, but you already know what to do. Your brain relaxes because there's a process. There's an answer. This is how the Stoics mastered anxiety, not by wishing it away, by building practices and showing up. I want to tell you something directly. You are not your anxiety. Your anxiety is not a character flaw. It's not a sign that you're weak or broken. It's your threat detection system doing exactly what it evolved to do, sometimes too aggressively. But you're not that system. You're the observer of it. You're the person who can use these 3 Stoic tools to change your relationship with anxiety. The Stoics proved that 2,000 years ago, when they had no pills, no therapists, no apps, they had philosophy and practice, and you have those same tools right now. The anxiety might not disappear overnight. The Stoics weren't promising instant fixes. They were promising something more powerful: mastery. The ability to face difficult emotions and not be controlled by them. Marcus Aurelius had anxieties just like you. He wrote about them in his journal. But he wrote about them with the voice of someone who had learned to observe them, understand them, and ultimately transcend them. You can do the same. Start today. Build your protocol. Use it the moment anxiety strikes. And know this, every single time you use it successfully, you're rewiring your brain. You're proving to yourself that you have more power than you thought. You are not your anxiety, and anxiety is not your destiny. That's the Stoic promise, and it's a promise you can keep.